Okay, so let's go over the problems that you just did. The first one was given a point of 0, -1, and a slope of 3. So if I label my pieces, we know that x is equal to 0 because every point is made up of x comma y. The y is going to equal -1, and our slope is going to equal 3. So I'm going to substitute that in to slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. I'm going to put in for all of my variables except for b this time. So I have -1 equals, our m is 3, our x is 0, plus b. To solve this, what I'm going to start by doing is multiplying these two numbers, 3 times 0. So I'm going to end up with -1 equals 0 plus b. We want to get b by itself, so I can either add 0 or subtract 0. Really, it's not going to change anything. Really, the 0 is going to just disappear. And we're going to end up with -1 equals b. So now that I have my m, which is 3, and our b, which is -1, I can write my final equation by just substituting in for m and x. So y equals 3x minus 1. So I substituted in just for m and b. Okay? Remember, it's always y equals blank, x blank. The next one asked us to find the equation of the line when our point was 1, 4. So we have our x and we have our y, and a slope of 9. So what we're going to do is we're going to label our pieces. X equals 1. What does our y equal? 4. And our m is going to be 9. I'm going to start by writing out slope-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. And I'm going to substitute in the pieces I know, everything but b. So y is 4, our m is 9, x was 1, solve for b. 9 times 1 is going to be 9 plus b equals 4. I want to get b by itself, so I do the opposite of what's there. I have a positive 9, so I'm going to subtract 9 from both sides. 4 minus 9 is -5 equals b. I now have my m and my b, so I'm going to write my final equation. Y equals, in place of m, I'm putting 9, x, in place of b, -5. So this is my final answer. Okay, there's one other thing I wanted to show you, which is in cases where they give us a slope of 0 or a slope that's undefined. So when they give us a slope of 0, let's think about what that looks like. If I draw a coordinate plane, a slope of 0, what kind of line does that draw? Does it draw a horizontal line or a vertical line? A slope of 0 is going to draw a horizontal line. Okay? When we look at that line, we're going to ask ourselves, which axes does that line go through? Does it go through the x-axis or the y-axis? Oops. X-axis or y-axis? It goes through the y-axis. So I'm going to look at what my y value is in my point. So my point over here is x, comma, y. And if I were to label the pieces, I'd say that x is -3 and y is equal to 4. Since it only goes through one axis, it only goes through y, our equation is going to say y equals whatever the y value is. So our equation ends up being y equals 4. A similar thing happens when our slope is undefined. So let me see if I can erase this line. There we go. So if I ask you to write the equation of a line through the point 5, -6, and it has a slope that's undefined. So let's label our pieces. I can say that x equals 5, y equals -6, and our slope is undefined. What does an undefined line look like? Well, undefined on our graph would be a vertical line. It goes up and down. Okay? Which axes does that blue line go through? Does it go through the x-axis or the y-axis? Since it goes through the x-axis, our equation is just going to have x in it. And since we know that x is 5, that means our equation is going to be x equals 5. Try the Nearpod quiz on the next slide. Once you're finished that, you're going to be going on to the homework.